We are joined by Coach Boeheim. We'll get started with an opening statement. And again, a reminder to media, if you do have a question, please use the raise hand function, and we'll get to as many questions as we can in the time that we have with Coach. Coach, if you'd like to start with an opening statement, please.
I thought Houston was tremendous defensively. I thought we did a great job fighting back, getting back just before the half, and we gave them two buckets before the half and just two breakdowns. But their defense was just too much for us. We missed some opportunities, but I'd give 90% of the credit to their defense. They're really a good defensive team. We did a good job on the boards. We hung in there for us. We did a pretty good job, defensively for most of the game. The end we broke down a little bit, but we did a pretty good job defensively. But we scored 20 points in the half. We're not going to win. But again, that was a tribute to their defense. Their defense was really terrific. It's the best defense that we've seen this year, and they deserve to win.
Get the questions started with Mike Waters. Mike, please go ahead.
Yeah, Jim, sort of kind of a two-part question. In terms of Houston's defense, can you compare them to anybody in the ACC? And offensively, was there anything you were hoping to do that you just couldn't get done against that defense today?
Well, we wanted to get Marek and Quincy when they pushed up on Buddy and Joe. They had great opportunities. I mean, really good opportunities. And Marek just had a tough game. He missed a couple layups that he normally makes. Quincy had a couple really good opportunities around the basket that he normally will finish. We knew that they were going to push up on Buddy and Joe, and that they're tremendous defensive guards there. But I thought that Marek and Quincy would maybe be able to get something inside. I thought Allen could play against this team, but he gave up the 2 threes to Sasser right in front of him. And the last 6-7 games, he just has not been able to defend, to stay on the court. I think it was a game he might have been able to get something off this team, off the bounce, but he just has struggled at the end of the year. And this game was probably too physical for Robert. They were just too physical for him. But I thought Jesse did a great job. I thought Kadari had a good start. He made a couple, careless mistakes, but I thought he did some really, really positive things tonight. But we thought we could get something going around the basket, given that they were going to play us so tough on the perimeter, and we couldn't capitalize in there at all.
Stephen Bailey next. Stephen, go ahead.
Hey, Jim, I wanted to ask about Giroux specifically. What jumped out to you about how he defended Buddy?
Well, he's a really good defender. He just stayed with him every place he went, and he did a great job. Buddy's gotten better, and he did make some moves inside. He got to there. He settled a little bit too much for the 3 in the second half. He probably should have continued to drive a little bit more. But that's a learning experience. Giroux's a really, really good defensive player, and they helped. They were there to help him, but he's a really good defender. I just thought that would open up some things for us to score inside, and we were not able to do that. I felt that our forwards would be able to score in this game, and they weren't able to.
Go to Mark Larson next. Mark, please go ahead.
Hey, Coach, you've kind of said all season that when you make shots, you win, and when you don't make shots, you don't win. Was it just a matter of one of those nights where you didn't make shots?
No, they were good defensively. They took it away from us. We had some opportunities. We should have been able to finish something, but a lot of that was their defense, and you have to give them credit for that. I told the players, if you look at the season, we should have lost to Bryant and we should have lost to Buffalo in the beginning of the year, whether it was the COVID pause or whether we weren't good enough, whatever reason, we should have lost both games. And then as the season went, we kind of recovered a little bit. but we lost big at Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh home game was a horrendous loss. Without going into the whole season, we were 16 down against NC State at home, and we won that game. And then we were 8-20 down to Notre Dame in the second half, and we won that game. And we had to win all those games, the Bryant, the Buffalo. I'm not even talking about Northeastern, which we were fairly lucky to win too. But then winning the Notre Dame and NC State, coming from that far behind. And then we had to beat North Carolina, who we hadn't beaten in 10 games, something like that. And we had to beat 10 regular season. We did beat them in a tournament, ACC tournament, but hadn't beat them in 10 regular season games. Then we had to beat Clemson, which is a good team, a tournament team, and we did all that. And then we came in here. We had to beat a 6 seed who'd won 14 straight games, San Diego State. I mean, that was a phenomenal game, phenomenal performance. And we had better balance. I mean, Buddy scored, but we had better balance. And then to beat West Virginia, I mean, we played really good defense, and it was a really good win. It's hard to beat seeds, 11. It's hard when you're 11 to beat a 6 and then to beat a 3, or I forgot where West Virginia was. They were pretty good. And we just couldn't overcome Houston, and because they're very good. They're really a really good basketball team and really good defensively. Really good.
We'll go to Mario Sacco next. Mario, please go ahead.
Jim, all season long you've been an advocate on this season needed to be played, even during a pandemic. How beneficial was this season to be played by your team, and how difficult was this season to be played?
It was difficult for everybody, but we've gotten through it. We played most of the games. The tournament's been great. We've had a lot of good games in this tournament, really good games. The players got a chance to play. My son's at Cornell, and he's been miserable for 6 months, as have all the other athletes in the Ivy League, because they didn't even get a chance to play. And someday we're going to look back and say, why didn't we play? Why would we ever even thought about not playing? These kids, if they get sick, they're better. They're back in a few days, or they don't get sick. And it would have been a monumental mistake to not play basketball. And I give the Dan Gavitt and his crew, his people, an unbelievable job they've done to make this possible, to the work that's gone into this, to make this tournament possible. And it's the only thing that could have been done. The players want to play. Everybody says about the money. It has nothing. I don't think it has anything to do with the money. I mean, everybody thinks that, and they're going to say that. The players want to play. That's as simple as that. They wanted to play the season. And I think our guy, I mean, this is one of the best years that I've ever had coaching, for these guys to get through this and to get to this stage. I think is just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I couldn't be more proud of a basketball team than I am of this team. Period.
We'll go with Donna Datota next. Donna, please go ahead.
Yeah, Jim, I realize that the game has just ended, but I'm curious if you could look ahead a little bit, and in particular with Jesse in the middle and with your center situation just going forward.
Well, first of all, I've seen 50 or 60 starters that have left programs in the last week to 10 days. I've seen 5, 6 guys leaving programs. Being able to transfer and play right away means if you have any issue at all, any issue, you're going to leave. Those guys would never have left before, but now they're going to. We'll have guys leave, and it's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And, we just, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, as things happen, we're going to have to adjust to it and start recruiting, in the transfer portal, because we'll have guys in there. And as last year happened, we lost three guys or three guards. And, none of those three played anywhere where they went. But that's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of transfers, and we're not going to be immune to it. Anybody that's not playing a lot or unhappy, they think they could be perfectly good kids, perfectly happy, but they think they should play more or shoot more, whatever it may be, and players are going to leave. I mean, that's just the way it is, and there's going to be adjustments that that have to be made. I'm really happy with Jesse's development and Joe and Buddy and Kadari and Quince, the way they've played. I think we have a great player coming in with great potential, but we're going to get somebody else, and I think we're going to lose players, and that's reality. I mean, North Carolina never lost a player. I remember recruiting against North Carolina. They had 13 All-Americans there. 13. And not one of them ever left. And only 7 or 8 of them played. I think somebody told me 7 guys left North Carolina this year. I'm like, really? I mean, that's amazing. I saw guys leave this year that were starters on teams because the coach tried to coach them. I mean, they didn't punish him, just tried to coach him a little bit. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to just about everybody, for sure.
We'll take one last question from Anthony DeBundo. Anthony, please go ahead.
Kind of a two-parter. Has Jesse mentioned anything about potentially transferring? Because that's the first part. And the second part was you chose to take him out with about 2 minutes left in the half, and he ended up being plus 10. They went on a 10-0 run right after he came out of the game.
Yeah,
do you think him not being there hurt?
Yeah, that's why that's why they went on that run, I'm sure. He was tired. Okay. Really. That's just unbelievable. That's normal.
Thanks, Coach.
Normal for Syracuse people. All right, this was a great year. I'm so proud of this team and everything that they've accomplished. The guy that asked that question 2 months ago said we wouldn't be in the NIT. So I guess that's so much for your credibility. This was a great year. These guys deserve all the credit in the world for what they've done. And we happen to lose to a really great basketball team tonight.
Thanks, Coach. We'll be joined by Marek Dolezaj next. And we are joined by Marek Dolezaj, and we'll open up the call to media. Again, if you have questions, please raise your hand, and we'll do our best to get to as many media as we can. We'll start with Mark Larson. Mark, please go ahead.
Hey, Marek, obviously a disappointment in that locker room, despite such a great run you guys make. Can you just talk about what the emotions are in there?
Yeah, you cannot be happy after a lost game. And we knew we could win the game, but we just didn't make our shots, and it's just really disappointed. So really there's a lot of emotions going around right now.
We'll go to Stephen Bailey next. Stephen, please go ahead.
Hey, Marek, I wanted to ask about Giroux's defense. What did you think of how he played Buddy, and were you guys hoping to be able to get a little bit more out of those actions with you and Quincy?
Yeah, for sure. We knew before the game they're a really good defensive team, but I think we got our shots. We had some open shots. They just didn't fall in, and if we don't make a shot, we're not going to win a game.
Next, we'll go to Nico Tamurian. Nico, please go ahead.
Close enough. Thank you. Marek, I know it's tough to do right after a loss, but can you reflect on the heart this team showed to make this run, to make it to the Sweet 16, and really defy a lot of so-called experts' opinions on that?
For sure, this season was whole roller coaster. It started from game one. Bryant, Brahma got hurt. We almost lost that game. For I think first 5 non-conference. It was every single game was tied, and everybody counted us out. They told us we didn't deserve to be in March Madness, but I think we showed them and proved everybody that we deserve to be here and make this run after the season. It just shows how much heart this team has.
Next, we'll go to Danny Emmerman. Danny, please go ahead.
Hey, Marek. Danny Emmerman from the Daily Orange. Houston did a really, really good job tonight defending everyone, but especially Buddy. What are some things that you saw them do defensively to slow him down?
They're a physical team. They're a very physical team. I would say top 5 in defense in the whole tournament. So it was really tough for us to find open shots. So, and how I said, we had some open shots and we just missed those.
Dan Tortora, please go ahead.
Correct. Just what you can say about, this team this season, everything you guys been through, the starts and the stops, and just the pride that you have in this team and in your brothers on this squad.
How I say, this team has a lot of heart and a lot of pride, it was really roller coaster season, and losing to Pitt twice, Clemson, they, by 25, and there's many games but we always came back, and we tried to not focus on that. We just tried to focus on all the time on the next game, and I think we gave everything what we could. We hoped we could win today, but we didn't. They played really good basketball. We just need to move on.
Just a heads up to media here that we'll take this last question from Marek, and then we'll be followed by Buddy Boeheim here momentarily. Carter Hill, please go ahead.
Hey, Marek. Congratulations on a great season. My question is, what do you think the biggest improvement of this team was over the course of the year?
I think everywhere, in all aspects, we improved. I think everybody improved from from me to Woody, who didn't play. I think that's our thing, and we just stick together the whole season, and that helped us a lot.
Thank you, Marek. Appreciate your time. Congrats on a great season. We'll be joined by Buddy Boeheim here momentarily. And we are joined by Buddy Boeheim. Again, for media would like to ask a question, please raise your hand, and we'll do our best to get to as many questions as we can to the time we have with Buddy. We'll open up with Stephen Bailey. Stephen, please go ahead.
Hey, Buddy. You mentioned early this week or leading into the game that you knew Giroux was a really good on-ball defender. What did he do tonight that made things tough, and what do you guys wish maybe did as an offense to be able to capitalize on some of the opportunities that helping on those screens presented?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great defender, defensive player of the year in their league, so I knew it was going to be a battle, and he just jammed me coming off screens, jammed handoffs, whatever it was. He was great. Thought I got some looks I got to make, and I put that on myself. But I mean, he's a really good defender. It's a great defensive team, and they're just really physical, really aggressive, and we got some looks that we didn't capitalize on. So you can't lose those opportunities against a team like that.
Next, we'll go to Mario Sacco. Mario, please go ahead.
Buddy, I asked your dad about how difficult a season this was playing in a pandemic and how beneficial it was. And he mentioned about your brother being home and not playing. For you, How beneficial of a season was it just to play this season, and how difficult truly was it?
It was tough. I mean, it's toughest season of my life. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of pauses. Never knowing if you're gonna play the next night or not, who you're gonna play. But just I think this year helped us all mentally and just getting through to the next day and fighting every day, showing up ready to work hard, and just proud of these guys for never quitting, no matter where we were at in the season, and just to be able to play 25, 26 games was great, and I don't think any of us thought we would have been able to play that much, so it was definitely tough, but I'm just happy we got to play all these games. It was a lot of fun, and it was a great group.
Next, go to Mike Waters. Mike, please go ahead.
Well, I know it might be a little tough to do immediately after a loss, but looking ahead to next year, is the way this team played over the last 2-3 weeks something that can carry over into next season?
Yeah, definitely. I think we were just in our stride. Even this game, I thought we got good looks. Just didn't capitalize, and our defense was great. It's gotten a lot better throughout from the first game to this game. Our defense was a lot improved night and day. So I think we can build off this, and looking forward to the off season and just getting back in the gym.
Next, we'll go to Nico Tamirian. Nico, please go ahead.
Thank you. Buddy, obviously you've seen a lot of Syracuse basketball teams in your life. This team being able to come back from what it did to make it all the way to the Sweet 16, what does that mean to you, and what did it show about this team?
Yeah, obviously this is a terrible feeling, and sometimes take a while to get over. But just to be in this position coming into today was great, and just shows that this team's resilient and got a group of guys that are gonna fight no matter what. And just happy to be a part of this group. It was a lot of fun, and the coaches did a great job with us. So definitely remember this season forever and everything we battled, and definitely in a couple weeks I'll look back on it and be proud.
Time for a couple more questions. We'll go to Mark Larson. Mark, please go ahead.
Hey, buddy, congratulations on a great run, and for you personally, especially. Can you talk about next year? Is it too early to look ahead? I mean, it seems there's plenty to be excited about for the guys that could be coming back next year, and what will this kind of do for that team, this little run you guys made?
Yeah, it's tough to look forward right now, but just excited. I think we can build on this. Shows, we got a guy like Benny coming in who's a great player. Be an impact guy from the first day he gets here. So the competition will be there. I think guys will be excited after seeing how great that this tournament is and how great it is to win in it. So I'm excited to get back to work, and we got a lot of work to do, but it's definitely exciting moving forward.
We'll take our last one from Danny Emmerman. Danny, please go ahead.
Hey, buddy, Danny Emmerman from the Daily Orange. I know you have a long summer ahead of you and a lot to think about, but I'm wondering what things might go into the decision-making process in terms of coming back to school or maybe trying to leave for the NBA draft.
I'll be back. I got a lot of work to do, and I know I can get a lot better. So I got to get a lot better if I ever want to think about that. So I'm looking forward to being back and getting back to work as soon as possible.
Thanks, buddy. Congrats on a great season. Thanks for joining us. That'll conclude the Syracuse postgame news conference. A transcript of Coach's interview will be provided by ASAP Sports at ncaa.com/transcripts. You can also find a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Again, ncaa.veritone.com. Thank you.